Hey there, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Kay. I'm a professional home organizer, and I'm here to inspire you to live a more organized life. So I did a video very similar to this back in 2021, I believe. It was things that I've changed my mind about, like organizing things that I've changed my mind about. I figured I would do a part 2 because there's more things that I've changed my mind about. We're allowed to grow and change as a species, as people. And I've seen a number of organizing trends throughout the years, especially when I go to other people's homes. I see what they buy, what they want, what they're interested in. And I've seen a lot of trends come and go. And these are the things that I may have not liked in the past or liked in the past that I've now since changed my mind about. Disclaimer, these are not trends that are I hate or trends that I say you shouldn't do. At the end of the day, you are the one who has to live in your space and be happy with it. And I am not the trend police. So if it works for you, if you love it, don't come for me. It's totally fine. We can agree to disagree. This video is just for fun, just for some thoughts. At the end of the day, you have to do you and you have to live in your own home, not me. So if you love some of these trends and you're still doing them, or you hate some of these trends and you don't want to do them at all, that is up to you. You do you. I feel like home organizing trends go very well together with home decor trends. I find that the two of them tend to be like cousins, not really sisters. I find that a lot of organizing things can fall in line with decor trends and vice versa. So a lot of these things I've found to be similar to the home decorating trends I used to like but don't like, or maybe I do like them now and I didn't used to like them before. So that's just something interesting I found while making up this list. Before we get started, I'd like to take a minute to thank this video's sponsor, the new BedBathAndBeyond.com. That's right, the store you know and love is back and bigger than ever online. I know that whenever I had a milestone in my life, when I was moving to my first dorm room, when I moved apartments, especially when I was younger, Bed Bath & Beyond was my first stop. It was the first thing I thought about, and I spent probably hours just wandering the aisles and looking at all of the wonderful home organizing, home's kitchen supplies, small appliances, that kind of thing, and I was in love. It was my go-to place for all things home. When I heard they were actually back, I was very excited, very excited. Not only does BedBathAndBeyond.com have all of the things you know and love from Bed Bath & Beyond, the towels, the pantry items, the kitchen organizers, the bathroom organizers, they now have a huge selection of patio furniture, bedroom furniture, rugs, dining tables, lighting, decor, and a whole lot more from Overstock. That's right. These two iconic brands have come together to bring you all of your home organizing, decorating, and furnishing needs all in one place at a great value. And now you can celebrate the new BedBathAndBeyond.com and the app with welcome rewards. This loyalty program rewards you with 5% reward dollars with every purchase. And not only that, the best part, every order ships free. That's right, you heard me. Everything ships for free at the new BedBathAndBeyond.com. Download the new Bed Bath & Beyond app and start earning rewards right now. It's Bed, Bath, and an even bigger beyond. Thank you so much to Bed Bath & Beyond for sponsoring today's video. I so appreciate it. And welcome back, Bed Bath & Beyond. Welcome back. I had your light on. It's so dark today. So if I'm really being honest, the first trend that I've come around to and that I've changed my mind about, I know I'm going to get a lot of flack in the comments for this one, but just go with me on this, is those aesthetically pleasing fridges, those hyper organized fridges. Now, I know I said in the past that I do not like them. I think they're kind of over the top, but I think my main problem with these fridges is, when I was looking at the pictures, is not with the system in place, it's with the processed food that I'm seeing in the system. I think that my main problem was it was just mainly organizing packaging and not really food. And I do like the look of the hyper-organized fridge, although I haven't really gotten there yet. And I'd like to steer away from more of the plastic organizing solutions and steer towards the glass organizing solutions. They are easier to wash. They don't hold the smell like if you were to go put onions and things. Also, silicone is really good as well. But I do tend to like a more organized fridge these days, just so I can see what I have. You guys know how I feel about unloading a lot of your produce out of their packaging. Like they come in those plastic produce bags. I like to take actually the produce out of those bags so that when I put them in my crisper drawer, I can see what's in there, because otherwise, if you just see like a bunch of green or white plastic in your crisper drawer, you're not gonna know what's in there. So that's one tip I have for keeping your fridge organized and wasting less food. But I don't have as much disdain as I used to for these hyper organized fridges. I do think some of them aren't very practical. And I think that if we all ate a little more food that is real food, it would look a little different. But as far as I'm concerned right now, I don't hate them anymore. I can't believe I just said that. Trend number 2 that I have changed my mind about, and I think I've talked about this in a previous video, is open shelving absolutely everywhere for everything. There are 2 kinds of people I find when I'm working with them. There are the out of sight, out of mind people, and there are the people who just don't want to see anything. They just get really stressed out by looking at individual items. And those kinds of people like to have closed cabinets. And for a while, we were all into the trend of being able to see what we have, like open shelving, have what everything you have is out and you can see it. And this was especially popular in kitchens, where instead of having those upper cabinets where you could actually close the door, they replaced them with open shelving and you just have all your pile of bowls just out there. And in real life, it's more difficult to keep this looking neat than you'd think. In theory, it's really beautiful, and if you are the neatest, most minimalist person, this can look amazing. But if you are like 90% of the general population, you're gonna have too many things to have this look extremely neat. I used to have an exposed closet. Back when I didn't have a closet, I had to keep it really neat, and I had exposed shelving for my kitchen items, and I had exposed shelving for my entertainment items, entertainment center, and I had an entertainment center that looked like this for years, and I hated it. Well, I didn't hate it back then. I hated it eventually. So I like to have a little bit more separation between like me and like looking at items. So the best way I've found to mitigate this is actually putting things in bins and then placing that on a shelf and not having to look at individual items. I'm more geared towards like, let's get a cabinet and organize it in there. That way when you look at it and you open it, it's neat, but you don't have to look at it all the time. You know what I mean? Trend number 3 that I think I've changed my mind about, sort of, but not really, is what I like to refer to as stuff shaming. So when I go over someone's house and help them organize, I don't really pay a lot of attention to the quantity of items. I remember watching shows that I loved, actually, like Clean House, some of those other like organizing, decorating shows, where they would make people feel bad about the amount of items that they actually had. And some of the people like really wanted to keep the stuff. And there's a fine line between having too many items and not being aware that you can't handle the upkeep of the number of items, and just having a collection of things and not wanting to get rid of everything. So I've seen a lot online of people in comment sections like shaming them. Oh, they have too much stuff, calling them a hoarder and stuff like that. I think that is real bad. And I think that someone's home is a very personal place, and you should be mindful of what is going on. You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know if they've had a hardship lately. And sometimes the way that they deal with the grief is they just acquire items and it makes them feel kind of safe. So you don't know what's going on. You just have to steer away from the judgment. And I find that the judgment, it was sort of like kind of trendy. It was kind of fun to like shame people for having a really messy house. I don't find that that's very productive. I think that it really hurts a lot of people's feelings. So stuff shaming is a thing that have I changed my mind about it? No. I think the only thing I've changed my mind about really is I've become even more opposed to doing this to somebody, because you don't know what's going on in their lives. And a messy house or a state of clutter is just a state, and it can be changed. So I give people a break. The next trend is overly large labels for literally everything. Now, I remember back in the day when Rae Dunn was a really big thing. I don't know if it's still a thing, but it was a really big thing. And Rae Dunn, if you're not familiar, is a clay artist, and she made these really beautiful clay, just everything, like mugs, pitchers, trays, all kinds of containers, everything. And it had a big label on it that said what it was. And I feel like big labels were a thing for a while. Like everything that was a container that had something in it, you had to label in a big way. And listen, labels are really helpful. I love them, but I don't find that they're super useful for everything. Like I find a really small, very inconspicuous label just as functional as a very big flashy label. I don't think that it's necessary. And I think that labels that you can actually change, like if you write on something with chalk paint, like on a jar or something like that, you can change the contents of it and it's not a big deal. If you had a big label and it was a huge thing to make it, then that's more of a big deal and you're kind of locked into whatever's in that container. I find that big labels are really good for like children and people who really need to know what's in what container, like if it's like a work situation or something where there's lots of people in and out. I find that the more subtle labels will add to your overall aesthetic and not take away from the beauty of your home. That's just my opinion though. Okay, lastly, I think that I have come around a lot on uniformity. So when I talk about uniformity, I'm talking about matching containers, matching hangers, matching when you organize. For the longest time, I've been a huge proponent of matching hangers in your closet. That's like the one low effort thing you can do to make your closet look neat, and having done basically nothing else is just to get matching hangers. That's all you have to do. And I don't know why, but I wasn't really subscribed to that concept all around the home. I was kind of just like, well, use whatever you have just to have your space function. And that's usually where I am with people when I go to their house. I am there because they are desperate for function and don't really care much about form. I have a few clients who care a lot form, but they mainly want their space to function. Like they can't find anything in their pantry and they want me there to organize it, declutter it, just so that they can find the brown sugar and they're looking for the brown sugar. I've come around to the idea that uniformity is actually kind of important when I'm designing an organized space in my own home. I found this to be especially true in a place like a pantry where it helps to have a lot of the same uniform shapes and sizes. Not only does it help aesthetically where you can kind of see everything and it's really neat looking, you can maximize your storage space. A lot of the modular containers can be really helpful in spaces like that. And if they're all like a uniform material, look, style, I think that it really adds to my personal enjoyment of the space. And I'm not so against going over the top and buying all the uniform things. Again, you don't have to spend money when you organize your home. That's really one of the last things, one of the cherries on top if you decide to do it. The main sort of goals are to declutter, organize, and then live with what you have. But if you really want to go that extra step and have the space be really calm, beautiful, and highly, highly, highly functional, I say go for that uniformity. Matching hangers, matching containers, at least in the same style or color family as each other. I think it can make a space look really neat and together, and I have strong feelings about the power of it now. I don't think that it's a necessary thing. I just think it has more power than I used to think it did before. Okay, so those are the 5 organizing trends I've changed my mind about. Let me know what you think. Have you changed your mind about any of these 5 things? Let me know down in a comment below. Please be kind, please be respectful. And thank you so much to bedbathandbeyond.com for sponsoring today's video. I'm so excited you're back. Welcome back. All right, everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's video and I will see you in the next one. Bye.